knock, and ready to rock.
Now we're ready to install our peep sight. Now if you have an older bow that you really feel comfortable with, then what you need to do is measure from the center of your peep straight down to the center of that knock for a good starting point. And you can make that same measurement and know where to install your new peep on your new bow. However, there is something that you need to keep in mind, and that is if your axle length and brace height from your new bow to your existing bow aren't the same, then this measurement could be slightly different. Because what happens is, on a shorter axle bow, as you draw it back, the string angle is much sharper. So what will happen is, when that bow's at rest in this position, the peep may actually need to be higher on the string, because as it's drawn back and the triangle gets sharp, it goes lower. Whereas if you have a longer axle bow, that peep height may actually be slightly different in the string as well, because the triangle isn't as sharp. One measurement that's really nice to know is if you go to full draw and have someone use a bow square and measure from the center of the peep straight down to the center of the arrow shaft. That measurement gives you a reference ultimately between your anchor position directly to the point of your eye. And because the bone structure of our face never changes, that measurement will be the same regardless of what the axle length or brace height of your bow is. So knowing your measurement for your peep at full draw is a very useful number to know. Otherwise, you can simply pre-install your peep in a position where you think it needs to be, draw back with your eyes closed, come to an anchor, and then open your eyes as if you're looking through your sight, and you'll know whether or not you need to raise or lower your peep. So once we know what height we need to put this peep at, we're going to go ahead and install it in the string. And one thing that you need to keep in mind as well is if you're shooting a two-colored string, for example black and green, you want to divide those colors evenly, because that'll help balance that peep and keep it in the center, and also help it stay straight as it comes back. If you have a single color string like this, then most manufacturers will put a piece of material marking the true center of those strings in the new string itself. So you'll want to make sure that you go ahead and use this small divider as a separator to put your peep perfectly in the center of that. Once you have it in place, I'm going to go ahead and show you how to tie it in super easy. So I've got my bow in a press, and I'm going to install my peep sight right here in the center of my string. Now I'm going to tie my peep in. Take about a 2-foot piece of material, fold it in half, pull both tabs through the center of that loop. Then you're going to hold both sides of the string, wrap it around, and pull it through the middle. This is called a half hitch. We're going to do this 4 times. Then on the 5th time, we're going to go ahead and wrap this in the center 4 times and pull the string all the way across. And then we're going to unwrap what we just did. Then you can grab this tab and pull the slack out to properly tie in your peep. Now we're going to do the same process. Make a loop. Again, we're going to do our half hitch 4 times. Wrap in the center 4 times. Lay our tab across. Unravel, which is ultimately tightening in the center. Pull our slack out, and we've got a perfectly tied in peep. Now we can remove the string that marked the center And we can also burn off this excess material. Now we just need to simply adjust our peep sight. Now that our peep is securely in there, the last thing that we need to do is take this bow, draw it back a few times, and also shoot it a few times at a bail up close, because that's going to help settle the string since we have been working on it. Because the very last thing that you're going to have to do is probably add a few twists to your string in order to get this peep in the correct position so that it's perfect as you're looking through it. Keep in mind that adding one twist to the bottom of your string is going to rotate this peep about 90 degrees. One full turn equals about a quarter turn in where your peep actually sits in the string. If you have a proper string that's built the right way, this peep should be facing straight back while it's at rest, and also it'll be perfectly straight when you're at full draw. Once you've done that and you have it in this position like I have mine here, go ahead and turn your loop so that it's facing straight back towards you and that it's also directly in line with the center of that peep. And then go ahead and take your loop pliers, put it in the center, and go ahead and securely stretch that loop into place and anchor it completely down. Once you've done that, your peep is completely set.
Nock and ready to rock.